Hey guys,
Happy Monday.
welcome back to Devotions with Emma and Sammy. We're so excited that you're here. Today we're going to be talking about the church. So if you remember on Friday, we talked about the Holy Spirit and how the Lord gave the Holy Spirit to us to guide us and that it's always with us. And today we're going to talk about the church, how it came into being, and then what it means for us today. But first, we're going to go over to Emma for our theme, main idea, and verses.
Thank you, Sammy. Okay, so our theme is God's promises, and our main idea is the beginning of the church. And our verses are from Acts chapter 2, verses 42 through 44, and then 47. All the believers devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching, and to fellowship, and to sharing in meals, and to prayer. A deep sense of awe came over them all, and the apostles performed many miraculous signs and wonders. And all the believers met together in one place and shared everything they had, all the while praising God and enjoying the goodwill of all the people. And each day the Lord added to their fellowship those who were being saved. That is our verse. Over to you, Sammy.
Thanks, Emma. So, yes, exactly like Emma just read, that is the beginning of the church. So let's back up a little bit. After Jesus had left, so if you remember, he came, he was crucified, he died, was buried, rose again, and he was only here for a short amount of time before he went back to heaven. So this is after he left, the disciples began their work of telling everyone about him, because like we talked about, Jesus's last words were to be witnesses for him, to tell everyone about him to the ends of the earth. So that's exactly what the disciples started doing. They started telling everyone about him. As they did this, people began to believe and lives started changing. And that's how the church first came into being. So today, most people, if you say the word church, they think of a building. And they think of a building with crosses and stained glass windows and walls and pews or seats maybe. And those are usually true of a church building. But the church is actually the people. It's the people that meet together. Anyone who believes in Jesus is part of the church. So it's the relationships, it's the way that they love other people. And that's really good news for times like we're in when we can't meet in a building, when we are limited to a certain number of people, and it's safer for us to be at home than to be at church. So that takes us straight for our question today. I want you to think about how you can be the church when we're social distancing. So from the verses that Emma just read, maybe you can go back and read what they did, and that'll help you get an idea. But I want you to think of one thing that you can do to be the church while we're socially distancing. So pause the video and think about that question. All right, welcome back. So I want you to keep thinking of that one thing, and that takes us straight to the prayer. So while you're thinking of that one thing, I want you to ask God for the bravery to do that thing, and I want you to ask Him what you should do with it. So maybe you thought, I want to show love to my friends and neighbors because that's part of being the church. So I want you to say, God, I want you to make me brave to do that. And how would you like me to do that? That's just one example. There's so many different ways because God does not leave us to do these things on our own, but He guides us through it. So take some time, think of the one thing, ask God how you can do that, and ask God for the bravery to do so. So pause right now. All right, welcome back. I hope that you feel so brave and empowered to do that thing to be the church because it's so important, especially when we can't be meeting together. So that is our discussion about the church today. Before we end, we're going to go over to Emma for our invitation.
Yes, so today is Star Wars Day, and I know that not everyone has seen the movies, but that's okay because you don't have to have seen the movies to be able to participate in today's activity. We have a Star Wars themed word search for you all, and we would like to invite you guys to work on that today. It will be linked in the description box below this video, and may the 4th be with you. Bye, guys.
Bye.